Come on in, everyone, and welcome to my review of Ready to Love, episode 6. And my name is Deborah, and we're going to get right into this discussion. I'm glad you're here for all my returning viewers, for my returning subscribers, my returning members. Thank you so much. And for anyone who's new here to the channel, I hope you will like my video. I hope you will subscribe. And I hope you'll drop down in the comments and join the conversation because we be getting it popping down in these comments. But let's get right into it. The episode started off with Tommy complaining, talking about, what's going on? What's going on? It doesn't seem like there's no real dating going on. And he's like, we need to get some dating going up in here. Well, I think what's happening, Tommy, is that most people have already hooked up. I said this last week in my video that in this season, everybody hooked up already together. And I'm not so mad at it. The people that need to change are not the people, Tommy. Y'all need to change your format. Because at this point in time, we should be seeing definitely more one-on-one dates because people really have narrowed their choices down to 2 people. But you're still trying to require them to date 2 and 3 different people. Nobody want to do that. Change the format of Ready to Love so people just don't have to keep stringing people along and dating any old body when they already know it's down to 1 or 2 people. I also want to know if this inflation is hurting these people down there in Miami. Dates are expensive. Is Ready to Love giving a budget for these dates? Somebody who has an inside scoop, let me know down in the comments. Do they give them a budget for these dates, or do these people have to foot the bill all by themselves? Because that could be stopping a lot of dates, because we know it's definitely stopping the dates of Justice because he's cheap. We're going to talk about him down below. And another thing, people, is his name Justice or Jawan? Because when I looked him up on the sort of cast of Ready to Love, they said his name was Jawan. So is he getting rid of that name because he thinks it's too ghetto and he want to become Justice all of a sudden? I'm going to start calling him Jawan if that's his government name. Jawan. Because it better fits him. Jawan is like, I need to catch up with all these fellas because I haven't been doing a doggone thing. I'm behind. You right, Jawan, you need to catch up. And what's going on, people? We must be missing a lot. There's a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff going on because in this episode, we realized that Mike and Kayla, they've been doing some behind the scenes hooking up. How the heck did Kayla become not the side chick, but the chick that stays in the background where Mike dates Brandi in public, but then what he's sneaking and seeing Kayla on the down low in the background? Because they were spilling some tea on here, and it told me that they had a lot more interactions than we've been seeing. I don't know how Kayla became the good time girl, because here we talking about Mike saying that Brandi is a reality, but Kayla is the music video dream. What is that? And then you have Randall later on saying, Kayla, you're going to have a good time with Kayla. Oh, what is he, her pimp, talking about Kayla give you a good time? What is Randall talking about? I told you this last week. I told you Randall really was eyes for Jamala. He was stringing along Kayla and Trinika just to have somebody to vote for him. And I knew that Mike's strongest connection was with Brandi. And here he is trying to have this sort of pseudo connection with Kayla. But he said it right when he said Brandi's the reality and Kayla is the music video dream. Now, what does that mean? You know what that means? It's just like an old man who's 42. I ain't gonna call him old because he's younger than me, but a 42-year-old man showing up on the Porsche dealership with 3 kids told, and they're like, are you really here to buy a Porsche or are you just dreaming? That's Mike when he's with Kayla, because that man who shows up on the Porsche dealership with 3 kids, he really should be down at 4 looking at a minivan. But instead, he was over here dreaming about driving his Porsche. That's what Mike is saying about Kayla. She really is a dream. Because you know what? Mike is really a realistic, down-to-earth type person. Even at times he says, stop thinking so much. He's cerebral. And what he loves when he looks at Kayla, he says, Kayla's 30 years old. She got young sperms. I know it ain't her lifelong dream to marry no man and become a stepmother before she's a mother. Let's keep it real. He knows that's not her dream. She's 30 years old. He don't really want a whole bunch more kids, maybe 1 at best if he got to, but he really don't want that. And he's like, what am I going to be doing with this 30-year-old woman? You know, Kayla may look good, but he's thinking, does she really fit into my life? She may look good. Is she the fantasy, or does she really fit into my everyday life? But Kayla knows she's kind of like the side girl because she keeps saying, you know, Mike keeps coming up to her and flirting with her and doing all these kind of things. But she clearly knows that Brandi is getting more attention. And from the end of the show, when they had that little messy red dress dinner, where Kayla and Mike stood up and started talking to each other, which we're going to talk about, Brandi had a look on her face, was like, what is going on? That's what happens, Brandi, when you flying back and forth to the Bahamas. I told you that ain't conducive to dating when you all the way down in St. Thomas and your man is in Miami, and next thing you know, he been having these behind the scenes things with Kayla and you didn't even know about it. But Kayla knew about Brandi, but Brandi didn't know about Kayla. Mike don't even know if he want to be Kayla's uncle or Kayla's boyfriend, because he's like, are you getting nervous because you don't have no real connections? You better watch out for Jamala with Randall. And Kayla's like, what you talking about another man for? You should be concentrating on me. No, Kayla, he knows you out of reach. He's just here to do the dating he normally need to do. He acting as an uncle. He telling you, watch out for Jamala. You better listen to him. They on this little pool date, and once again, Kayla bring out her one trick, making a bet, and whoever bets gets a kiss. Kayla, you did this at the bowling alley. You can't be doing the same trick twice. And Mike picked up on her real quick. He was like, I don't want that as no bet. Shoot, you got the cooties. Because the last time you made a bet to kiss a man, whoever won, you had to kiss Zoe. And we all know Zoe was a fool. He was trash. So kissing your lips right now is like kissing a trash can because they've been on Zoe already. Mike was like, I don't want to kiss her. I don't want to kiss her. She doesn't kiss Randall. She doesn't kiss Zoe. He like, this ain't no special kiss. I don't even want it as a bet. I don't even know how it could be a bet. Ain't nobody else involved. If he loses, he kisses you. If you lose, he kisses her. What you doing, Kayla? You running game? You really trying to run game? Mike is not going to choose Kayla. She is exactly what he said. She's a fantasy. He's the one he may pull up her picture with some baby oil in the room, something like that. But he ain't going to choose her. He's too practical. He's too logical thinking. He knows that's a fantasy. He's not going to do it. Maybe in another life, maybe when he was back in his 30s, that would have been the girl he chose. But he realizes right now, Kayla not the woman for him. But did y'all pick up when they was leaving that pool hall? Did you pick up what Kayla said to him? I'll come see you when all these cameras leave. Huh? What is that what we doing? Now I know why Kayla may be getting this reputation. Is this what she's doing behind the scenes? I don't know, because even Randall said, are you going to have a good time with Kayla? What are they talking about? But I already knew that Kayla was second choice to Randall anyway, because I already done peeped out who Randall is. First of all, Randall's a personal trainer. They are used to pleasing women because half their clientele be women. So what they don't never like to do is they don't like never to upset no woman, because you know what? When you upset a woman, you might lose a client. That's what personal trainers do. So they never tell you no. They never tell you the straight truth. They just let you think what you want to think. And that's Randall. He's not telling anyone yes. He's not telling anyone no, because he wants to keep you all as potential clients. And in this case, potential dates. So that's why I tell you, don't be dating no personal trainers, because they all kind of got the same act. They always around a lot of women who need training, so they know how to keep women happy. They don't want to upset no women. It's just ingrained in them. Some people are a product of their profession, and that's a product of personal trainer's profession. It's no shade against, I'm not trying to shade personal trainers, but it's a product of their profession, just like a whole lot of other people are products of their professions. But Jamala went out on this date with Randall, and who knew? They must be seeing each other behind the scenes too, because they already got secret phrases talking about I love juice. It means I love you, because it sounds the same. I love juice. I love you. And they over here talking about I love juice to you. I love juice to you too. What is going on? We at the I love you stage. We ain't seen but maybe 1 or 2 days between Jamala and Randall. So there must be a whole lot going on behind the scenes that we haven't even seen. Because Jamala's over here talking about, Randall, do you love me? Can you see yourself falling in love with me? I'm like, what? How are we at the love stage already? We have this many dates already that we haven't seen. But Randall's a nice guy. I can see he's a nice guy. But he's also the type of person that doesn't say no. So what you assume is when Randall doesn't give you an answer or he doesn't say no to you, you assume that the answer is yes, because he doesn't fill in the blank. He leaves it blank and he lets you fill it in. And then a lot of women, what they do is because they want the answer to be yes, they fill in the yes for him. I don't believe it. Don't believe it's a yes until he says it's a yes. And everything that Jamala was asking him, he never affirmatively said yes. He just smiled and gave her a kiss. That ain't a yes, people. That is not a yes. But of all the ladies, I do believe his strongest connection is with Jamala. He says he likes her for her 20 personalities. He says she likes that she's funny. He says he's big-hearted. And he said, he likes to speak things into existence. Of course he does, because like I said, most personal trainers have to be motivators as well, because they got to motivate their clients. So they like to speak things into existence. I tell you, people are products of their profession. So he says that's what he likes to do, and he likes that with Jamala. Good. I believe they probably have the strongest connection. I tell you, Randall's not interested in Kayla, because if you're really interested in a woman, you don't tell another man you have a good time with her. Like you her pimp. Absolutely not. That's not what you do. When they did have that little red dinner at the end, and they were airing out all their dirty laundry, and each of them was supposed to say to each other what they weren't happy with. And Jamala was trying to tell Randall, you need to choose, you need to make your intentions known. And Randall's like, I'm not deciding. I'm the man who doesn't say anything, and you can fill in the blanks. I'm not going to decide till I have to decide, and I'm pushed. And in the end, you know what? None of you may get a yes in the Randall's book. He already told Jamala he doesn't always go all in relationships. He's already told her that. So we'll see if this relationship is going to be any different for Randall. But I know who Randall is. Randall's a nice guy, but in a way, he kind of leads women on, not because of what he says, it's because what he doesn't say. There's two ways to lead a person on. You can say things to them and be a liar and lead them on, but there's another way where you don't say anything at all and you let them fill in the blanks, and then they come to their own conclusions and you just let them come to them conclusions. That's what Randall is doing with Kayla. She's letting Kayla come to her own conclusions, even though he hasn't said anything, and he's also letting Jamala do it. Because then when he's behind closed doors, he says something different. Like I said, he said about Kayla, yeah, you'll have a good time with Kayla. That's a no for Kayla then. When you passing off a girl to another man, that's a no. But when they were having that little dirty session, and Kayla said, I'm going to confront Mike on his two talking, and he says one thing behind closed doors, but he brings Brandi out in public, but he keeps me in the dark. And Mike was like, wait a minute, let's get up and talk about this. And people are like, well, why you got to stand up to talk about it? You know why? Because he wanted to make sure nothing came out her mouth that he didn't want to come out her mouth. And if she started talking too much about what was going on off camera, he probably was going to come up and do this. Put his hand over her mouth so she couldn't ruin and mess up a thing with Brandi. Too late, Mike. Brandi has already seen enough. She's like, where is there a drink tab? Because I need a drink tab. Hold it together, Brandi, or hold it together. I know you in shock. I know you almost want to cry right now because you're like, oh, what the heck is going on? Or what is this right here? I don't know nothing about this. Well, hold on to your wig or your weave, your extension or whatever else, and just watch and observe and hold it together, girl. Take a sip of that Crown and Coke. And when Kayla wanted to keep on talking, Tommy was like, well, what else, Kayla? And Mike said, she said enough. Mike was like, she has said enough. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to Brandi and Mike now, because she can't unsee that. She's not going to be able to unsee that. Mike's going to have a lot of explaining to do, because Brandi going to have some questions. She's going to be in the airport talking about, we loading right now. We boarding the plane, but I got some questions for you. A lot of people was trying to get with Brandi, trying to take her out, but she only had eyes for Mike. I know she mad now, talking about she been saving herself for Mike and doing all this, putting all her eggs in Mike's basket, and he running around behind her back canoodling with Kayla. I know she mad. I know she mad. Because when she went out on that date with Samson, she wasn't taking it seriously. She confronted Samson about, why you bringing everyone gifts? Why you bringing everyone gifts? You need to be thankful that the man is bringing you gifts, because you got other men over here like, what's his name? Jawan Justice ain't bringing nobody no gifts whatsoever but a ladybug. We're going to talk about that too. He finally gave somebody a gift, a loony, on a date, and guess what it was? A ladybug that he caught off the ground. A free gift. But Samson took Brandi on a date. He was like, he wanted to get to know Brandi more. He said, Brandi's just not a Coke bottle. She got depth to her. But you know what? Brandi definitely got that body. I'm telling you, if I had to come back in another life, I really would probably want to come back with Brandi's body, because she's built real nice. She has a nice figure, and I can see how Brandi is running into problems in the dating world. I'm going to tell you how Brandi is running into problems in the dating world, because she revealed to Samson that she really hasn't even had a real boyfriend. Brandi's like almost, between 30 and 35, and she says she has not had a real boyfriend because no one has wanted to get to know the real her. They can't stop past that Coke bottle. That's about as far as they get with her. Kind of, that's what she's saying. It's past that Coke bottle, and that's it. Then they stop. One of the things I see wrong with Brandi's dating style is she's stuck in the middle. Brandi is stuck in the middle between two different types of guys. On one hand, Brandi's got the goods to attract a man. You know, a lot of women don't have the tools to work with that Brandi got. Brandi got the tools. She got the nice Coke bottle. She gonna get a lot of looks. She gonna get a lot of people coming to her. And the other thing about Brandi is, as everyone's been saying, Samson says she has depth. Even Mike says she had depth. But I'm gonna tell you, there's a little ghetto side of Brandi that's gonna turn off a lot of guys. I'm telling you, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but part of Brandi is a little bit of ghetto-ness, and sometimes you may not know what her expressions are or what might come out her mouth. And a guy who's a little bit more sophisticated probably would get turned off by that. I'm just trying to tell y'all, don't get mad at me, don't shoot the messenger. There's a ghetto-ness to Brandi that will turn off a lot of men. Like when Samson was like, oh, this is the driest Chardonnay here and everything, when they was doing the wine tasting, Brandi's like, how you know? Girl, see right there? That's a ghetto response. That right there is a ghetto response, and that would turn a lot of men off. Now, maybe she was saying, do you bring everyone here? Is that why you know it's the driest Chardonnay? What difference does it make? Even if you think it in your head, it doesn't have to come out your mouth. Women, sometimes you just need to take mental notes. Take mental notes in your head, but even though you're thinking it, it doesn't have to come out your mouth. Because once it comes out your mouth, that's when it becomes ghetto. See, the difference between ghetto and sophistication is sophisticated people, they may be thinking the same thing as you. Oh, he must bring a lot of women here. But the sophisticated woman, what they do is they don't say it. They keep their mouth closed and they just take in the data. But Brandi, oh, how you know? See? Brandi, stop doing that. That's why you in the middle, because what happens is when the real ghetto men approach you, you're not going to like them because you actually have depth. And they're going to see that you have depth, so they're actually not going to like you anymore either. And then the sophisticated men, they're going to like you because, like I said, you can attract a lot of men. But once they hear that come out the mouth, how you know, they're going to be turned off.